Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Shampoo from Shibooyah, and today I want to talk about Initial D. And some of you may know Initial D, some of you may not. I want to talk about my kind of intro to this series, right? So Initial D is my favorite anime, favorite manga, series of all time. I guess it started back when I was in high school, right? And for anyone who doesn't know anything about Initial D, it's a series about car racing, street racing, and particularly drifting. So doing drifting on mountain passes and stuff like that in Japan. But anyway, so in high school, I was going to an arcade, right, playing games. And I'm sure my story is probably similar to a lot of Initial D fans out there maybe in the States. So I was going to an arcade to play, a local arcade to play the games. I was usually going to play either I was going to play Dance Dance Revolution, Tekken, or I ended up getting to Initial D. Because I would be going there to play Tekken or DDR, and I'd be seeing these guys get on this car racing game, right? And I wasn't really into cars or anything like that in particular, but the game looked pretty cool. It had cool music coming from the speakers and stuff, and the guys playing it were just so into it. They'd be coming up on the machine, and they'd be putting on their racing gloves, right, getting all ready. And they're just playing a arcade game, card racing game, but they're putting on these racing gloves and stuff, and they're so into it. And I was like, man, I gotta check this game out, because these guys are so into it, and the music from the machine was awesome. And I started playing it, and I just got really into it. I never got my own set of racing gloves, right? I didn't get super, all pro level at it, but I had fun with it when I played it. And I was in high school at the time, and I would be going to school and I'd be talking to my friends. Shout out to my Asian friends that I had in high school. They tipped me off to the Initial D live action movie that they had put out. And this wasn't actually, it was a Japanese series of course, but the live action movie they made about it was actually put out in Chinese. And it starred Jay Chou, which some of you may know is a big pop star, big in Taiwan and stuff like that. And I saw the movie because my friend was like, hey man, you should check out the movie if you want to check out Initial D. Because I was like, man, I love the game, but I've never seen the anime. How do I even get into the series? He tipped me off to the movie. I saw the movie, and I just fell in love with it. And a lot of Initial D fans don't really like the live action movie, but if you've never seen any Initial D at all, it's actually a pretty good starting place, I feel. It kind of gives you a brief overview of just the characters and story and stuff, and it's easy to get into, I thought at least. So if you're looking to get into the series, I would recommend the anime, which I'll explain why in a second, but if not, the live action movie is not a bad place to start. You can get that on Blu-rays and stuff as well too, just to get a general idea of the story. So I watched the movie, got way into it, and I was like, man, I just gotta see more of it, right? So that's when I started getting into the anime, right? And I watched the whole anime series, or up to the point that it had released at the time, and I just fell in love with it. The anime series has super Eurobeat music, alright? If you don't know what super Eurobeat music is, the easiest way I can explain it is it's hyped up techno. It just gets you pumped about the next episode you're about to watch. As it's actually a fabulous collaboration between European artists and Japanese artists getting together to make music, and there's dances associated with it, power dancing and stuff like that. I could do a whole nother video on that, but let's just stick to Initial D. So super Eurobeat music, this dope techno music that you're listening to as you're watching these cars racing on these mountain paths in the story. It's amazing. And so I was getting into super Eurobeat music. I was loving these straight racing cars and stuff like that. And during the time I seen some anime, right? I seen I guess I was in high school, so I knew Studio Ghibli, right? Of course I knew Dragon Ball growing up and stuff like that. And I was watching Bleach at the time as well too, getting into that. But besides that, I didn't really know too many different anime series or anything like that. So I'd never seen anything like Initial D before, where it's not anything, nobody has any superpowers, superheroes or anything like that. Nobody's going to different planets. This is a straight up story about everyday life in Japan, more or less. In terms of character standpoint, they're all realistic characters. Nobody has special superpowers, and it's just about these dudes and bros just racing on a mountain pass, talking about bro stuff, talking about what they want to do in life, trying to get together with girls. Relationships fall apart. Dudes are heartbroken. They're racing and they're thinking about all this, talking to themselves. It's just amazing. It's a great story. Love the series as a whole, and I just love it. So I watched the whole series. They had put out 3 anime movies in Japan that kind of like recap the beginning part of the story. I saw the first one in the theater as well too, with Mrs. Shampoo, and me and Mrs. Shampoo actually went to Gunma Prefecture, which is the actual place where the whole story takes place. So we actually drove along the mountain path that they race on in the anime as well too, and that was amazing. I'll see if I can pull up any kind of video that we took during that time, see if I can get another video up. And I just want to take a second just to introduce Initial D to anyone out there who maybe heard of the name but wasn't really sure about it. It's an awesome series, definitely recommend getting into it. And I could do videos upon videos of Initial D. In fact, I already did one maybe like 2 years ago when I first started Shibooyah. I had put up a video about street racing series in like Japanese popular culture. So there's like Initial D and like Wangan Midnight is another one that's been picking up over the years. And I'll put a link to that in my description as well too. So if anyone wants to check out just a general overview about street racing culture and when it comes to like Japanese popular culture, check out that video. But anyways, that's enough. So I hope you like this video, and I'll have to come back to it again with another Initial D video sometime. So peace.